Hi, I'm State Representative Tom Mehaffie, and I represent the 106th District right here in Dauphin County, and we're located at the Great American Outdoor Show, right here in Dauphin County, which is awesome. You know, it's at the Farm Show Complex, and I'm here with Tim Schaefer. He's with the Fish and Boat Commission. Our executive director. Tim, it's great working with you. I really, thank you. I really appreciate what you've done so far coming in. It's your second year, right?
Second full year,
as executive director, and you do some wonderful things. You've really showed us, you know, what you guys do, and that's important. Me being on the Game and Fisheries Committee, you know, trying to understand everything that's going on and understand what you guys do is so important to us.
Yeah, and this show is a great place for people to learn more about what we do. We'll be here all week. Scott here Saturday. The numbers have been great so far. So if your constituents and others in Dauphin County want to learn more about what the Fish and Boat Commission does, no better place than the Great American Outdoor Show to come meet us.
Yeah, about 2 years ago we did a really nice thing in the district showing what you guys do, and it was a good hit. Maybe we can do that again coming up here in the near future. So tell us a little bit about what's going on, what you're doing here. I mean, I know you're selling licenses and doing other stuff, but tell us a little bit what the Fish Commission is doing.
You bet. Well, we are really excited. Just last Friday, we announced our 2020 stocking schedules. They're out, so anglers across Pennsylvania are going to see our trucks starting to roll in March. Every year, we stock about 3.2 million trout across Pennsylvania. Here in Dauphin County alone, we stock 12 different waters. I've joined you at one of the events last spring for the Mentored Youth Trout Day.
It was great. The Kiwanis do that in Hershey. It was a nice event. And you know, I thank you for that because you showed a lot of those kids really how to bait their hook and what to do. I saw a lot of great work from you guys, so thank you for coming to that.
You bet, and that's the future of the sport for us and for Pennsylvania. So that'll be March 28th this year will be our Mentored Youth Trout Day. We open trout season a week early for kids. It's been really popular. And then the regular opening day here in this part of Pennsylvania will be April 4th. And if anybody wants to learn about where we're stocking the fish or anything else about Fish and Boat, probably the best thing you can do is to get our mobile app. Got it on my phone here. It's Fish Boat PA, spelled exactly like it sounds. So say you want to find out where the fish are stocked in Dauphin County, you click on the app, find the more spot right there. You can see Powell's Creek, Clark's Creek, Montongo, Stony Creek. Literally go onto our website, click the stocking schedule. You can see all the streams that are stocked.
Well, Montongo, we used to help stock that when I was a kid. We'd float stock that creek. I grew up in Schuylkill County, so that brings back old memories. We also will have the paper stock schedules in our office when they're available, I think, coming up here very shortly.
What it is, so we shared the PDF, the electronic file with your office on Friday. I think those are being printed as we speak, so the hard copies will be there. We'd like to remind people to get the latest information on stocking. It's best to check our website, check the mobile app. You sometimes have changes periodically, say if there's a snowstorm, although maybe not this winter, but always have the latest information there electronically.
We can only hope. We don't have snow. So I'm going to go talk a little bit about what I've done with you. After the 2 years of understanding and seeing what the needs are for the Fish and Boat Commission, I worked closely with you on House Bill 808. Very proud of that bill. It passed the House. It is in the Senate right now. We're talking with the Senate, seeing what we can do to get that moving. It looks very promising in the future. The one thing that I learned is, and I didn't even know this, but the state puts absolutely no tax dollars into the Fish and Boat Commission, correct?
Right. So we are a user-funded agency. It's called the North American Model of Fish and Wildlife Conservation. User pays, user benefits. Years ago, about almost 100 years ago now, sportsmen set up the system where so you weren't subject to the political processes of budgets and governors negotiating with the legislature. The sportsmen pay for what we do. So we don't get general fund tax dollars. So all the trout that I just talked about that we'll be stocking are funded by fishing license dollars, money from the trout permit, and there's a federally we get about a quarter of our revenue, money that comes in that's primarily based on the number of licenses that we sell. So it's, no tax dollars in Pennsylvania going into what we do.
Yeah, and I think that's important for everybody to understand. So what we've really done in 808 is put it back in your hands with oversight from the government to make sure that, things don't get too out of hand. But when I talk to the fishermen in our district, the 106th district, they were really pleading to say, hey, I want to help. I want to give a little bit more. I want to make sure that, we have the hatcheries are doing well, the dams, things that are very important to them, boat launches and so forth throughout. My district gets to border the Susquehanna. You know, we had a concern back in the early 2000s about the bass population. I mean, you can elaborate about that, what you guys have been doing.
Sure, yeah,
there.
and again, that's all work that's funded by fishing license dollars. So we have a Susquehanna River biologist who's out there monitoring the status of the smallmouth populations, catfish, walleye in the river. We have been seeing the numbers of smallmouth come back the last few years. Had a bit of a dip last year in terms of the abundance that anglers were catching later in the summer. Earlier on in the year, we did see really good numbers of juvenile fish. We felt there was a good, strong year class, meaning the new class of fish coming in. We'll keep monitoring it this year and next year to see if the population will continue to rebound.
Right.
But again, our biologists do what they do on the backs of fishing license buyers. Talked about the boat ramps, whether it's right out here at Fort Hunter, down at Falmouth along the river. We have about 300 accesses that we maintain on behalf of the anglers and boaters. A lot of places you're not getting to the river without the Fish and Boat Commission.
Well, it's very expensive. Even the trucks that you use to transport the trout around, you know, they're getting older. We saw that even the hatcheries themselves. You know, if something goes wrong and you don't have the right alerts and, you know, a truck breaks down, you could lose thousands and thousands of fish.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big business. I was talking to somebody. I mean, this is a $60 million company that we're running. We have 400 employees. We have 14 state fish hatcheries. We have 100 waterways conservation officers. We actually have a class right now to fill some vacant spots. So yeah, I mean, fishing and boating are big business in Pennsylvania. It's about $1 billion industry here in the Commonwealth alone.
Yeah, I didn't really realize that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
The one thing is, and I'm great to support the anglers. We want to make sure we get even more anglers out there. I'm going to buy a fishing license here before we finish.
Great.
Okay, so I'm here going to purchase my license today, and we have options: 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and 10 year. And we also can do the Lake Erie stamp.
Yep, Lake Erie or the trout stamp.
Oh, the trout stamp, and then what is the Lake Erie?
Lets you go up to Lake Erie, fish up there on the tributaries to Lake Erie there.
Okay, which is important, and we want to support Lake Erie because it's really an important part of the Fish and Boat Commission and what you guys do. You have a lot going on. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to purchase the 3. I'm going to do a 5 year.
5 year
We can do that?
Yep. And the 5 year stamps.
Sure. And now doing that, all you need is my driver's license, correct?
Yep, your driver's license. I can get all that up.
We'll give you that.
Okay. All right. And here's your license. 5 years. We can just have you sign at the top there where it says signature. You'll be good to go.
Well, we can do that right now.
You're good?
I'm ready to go.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That'd be great. One thing we did this year, our board, just last week, you always had to display your fishing license, and they just eliminated that requirement, so you don't have to display it any longer. So the license that you get today, you'll be able to stick in your pocket and you'll be good to go.
Oh, so we're going to do basically like the Game Commission did a couple of years
Correct.
ago. And adopted that.
Yeah, and there was some confusion on the part of anglers. Did you need to display? Don't you need to display? Ultimately, what we're going for is this thing right here. And we want to make it easy enough so an angler can say, I want to go fishing tomorrow. You go click, 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 and you got it.
Now that the weather's been nice here in the winter,
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about boater safety. And we want to make sure that those that are out there in the river have to understand, even though it's 60 degrees today, that water's cold.
That water is cold. So a few years ago, we established our cold water life jacket requirement. So from November 1st through April 30th, if you're in a boat 16 feet or less, or any canoe or kayak, you need to wear your life jacket. And we're really happy to say that that is working. We're seeing fatality rates go down in those months. Most of our boating accidents happen in the summer when more people are out there, but proportionally, most of the accidents happen in the cold weather because you fall in that water in December, January, you're not going to make it. So please make sure you wear your life jacket.
Yeah, hypothermia kicks in quick.
Sure does.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. And especially if things do freeze, don't walk across the ice.
No,
don't take any chances.
Absolutely. And go onto our website. We haven't seen a lot of ice fishing here in Pennsylvania, but where you do, best bet is to be safe. Check our website for tips on safe ice fishing suggestions.
Great. Well, Tim, I can't thank you enough for inviting me down here today. I encourage everybody to come out. This is such it's a huge event. I think it's the largest outdoor show in the world.
Yep.
So I got to kick it off here on Friday. We were at the Sheraton for their kickoff party.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was, and I think a lot of people are getting a little bit of cabin fever here, and especially with the warmer weather, people are thinking about fishing season. Come on out to our booth, buy your license, and be ready to go in the spring.
I just got my license, and I'm ready to go for the new fishing season. Trout season is going to be here before you know it, so I look forward to seeing you out on the water.